Hi Professor, today I'm going to be walking you through the final project of my game. So I've renamed this Mission Impossible, and this is the new and improved version of our case study game by XYZ. So the objective of the game is to get your piece to the opposite corner of the board before your opponent does. The first person to do so wins. This hasn't changed from the prototype. This is still the exact same. The only thing that has changed is I actually kept pictures from the old board to show. The old board was actually a lot bigger. It was 20 by 20. The new board, as you can see, is 10 by 10, so it's a lot bigger. I found one of the problems with the prototype was it was just too hard to set up my blocks. Like this is similar to the chess in a way that your moves are supposed to block your opponent from getting to the end point, which, as I mentioned, is the opposite corner. So if I'm going to play as green, I'm trying to get over to where blue was starting the game, essentially. So I found that with this slightly smaller board size, this game is a little bit more difficult and more achievable. So how do you play? Well, before the game starts, each player will be given 5 bombs, which are these black and white pieces on the board that they can place wherever they want on the board, except for the 3 spaces adjacent to where they start. The objective of this is to place these bombs that will make it difficult for your opponent to reach the other corner. And a hint I gave is you may want to place the bombs around the stars on the board. And I'll mention this a little bit more in depth, but you will be required to cross at least 5 of the stars before you can reach the end point of the game. This was a requirement just to add a little bit more of a difficulty aspect to the game. If you're going straight to the corner, it kind of ends really quickly, and there's less for your opponent to think of when setting up the board to block your opponent. So, how do you start? Essentially, the first player will roll the die, and then they will move it as many as they roll. So if they roll 3, they'll move their piece 3. Then the next player will do the exact same thing. So the rules. Each player must land on at least 5 of the stars before they reach the opposite corner, and I will talk about that more in just a moment. If you roll a 3, then you earn another bomb that you may place anywhere on the board. As I mentioned, these white and black pieces are the bomb. For the green person, the bombs are the white pieces. For the blue, they are the black in this case. And I will talk about the setup more in just a moment. If your opponent manages to place bombs in a way that will completely block you, then you lose your turn until you roll a 3, because that earns you another bomb that you can essentially use to bomb their bomb and then get rid of that blocking. This keeps it from being totally unwinnable. If there are 4 players, then the only difference is that you only have to land on 3 stars before you reach the end of the court. And that would mean if there's 4, same thing, each person rolls, but there'd be someone in this corner and someone in the yellow corner going across the board. So that's all the rules. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things before I start actually playing here. So I'm going to be playing as a green player today, and the bombs that I have set up on the board are the white pieces. So these are the ones that I have set up trying to block my opponent. The opponent, which I'll be also playing as the opponent, is the blue piece, and his bombs are the black pieces. So I'll talk a little bit first about why I put them where. So me playing as a green player, I decided to go with a strategy that I know that my opponent has to cross at least 5 of these stars before they can go try to land on my corner to win the game. So I essentially wanted to place them in places that kind of block the stars so that they have to go a longer route. So if my opponent is starting from here and I have these two bombs placed in front of both of the first stars I see, that means my opponent is going to have to go around that, which will add a couple extra moves. I will note that they can go on their own bombs, so that is important. You can move any way too, so you can move diagonally, side to side, whatever is the quickest route. I set up the bombs that the blue person would be using to guard theirs in a slightly different manner. I used a strategy thinking, well, the last place that this person is going to go is this corner, so I'm going to make it difficult so that they have to go all the way around. I mentioned the rules. If you roll a 3, you can earn more bombs. So if I were to earn 2 more bombs playing as a blue player, I could place one here and one here, and this would completely block the other player, which means they'd have to roll a 3 at some point to erase one of those bombs to keep going forward. So that is one of the main strategies that you can keep in mind while playing the game, is, remember where they're going and that they have more bombs that they can earn throughout the game. So I think that's most of my main strategies. So I'm gonna start kind of playing the game order. So that was a 1, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, I put down the white bombs, so I am allowed to go on those because those were the ones I placed. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I earned a 3. So at this point, I would earn another bomb that I can place anyway. So I'm trying to block this guy, and I see that he's landed on 4 of his stars so far. So I actually set this up quite well because I have a pretty good block going right here. I could also put it, if I had another one, put one here on the same spot he did, and that would make it so he has to go all the way around here before he can land on that 5th and last bomb. And then since he's trying to go to this corner, he'd have to come all the way back around. So there's more of that strategy. So I placed my other bomb here, and now I'm going to move my piece. One, two, two. And once again, I rolled a 3. So I'm going to do exactly what I was just talking about. And I'm not. So he is right here right now, and it looks like he already is going around. So I'm actually going to place that right here to make it so he has to go even further around to get to that. So, and I still have to move my piece. 1, 2, 3. that was, if you notice, the 5th star I landed on. So I just went back. So I am really close to winning. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. And in this case, if you roll more, then that's okay. You can go 1, 2. So in that case, I would have just won the game. So as you can see, rolling 3s really help, and where you place them, the bombs really help, because it's a lot of the strategy in this game. The larger board size did make the game go a little quicker because there was less board to go across, but I found, as you can see, the bombs and the blockage was a lot more effective, and I feel like this over time could be a more fun game as you learn where to place the bombs in a more strategic manner. Even a simple game like Othello, if you aren't that good and don't know the strategies, you can go through that game pretty quickly, but still have fun playing it. So, although it was a fairly quick game, it can start to last longer as you get more skilled or depending on what you roll. But that's the basic gist of the game. I feel like the bigger board size, or so the smaller board size, was a lot more effective, and that was really the only thing I changed, other than just trying to make this board a little neater and trying to make this a little smoother. But pretty straightforward. Just to talk a little bit about some of the things from the case study that I wanted to fix to get a good grade on this assignment. Essentially, all semester we were trying to create a game that anyone could learn, very easy to learn, so a child can learn, an adult can play, but difficult to master. It's a game that can be fun, but as you play it more and more, you can learn the strategies of the game and really master it like a chess champion, etc. You can learn all the rules of chess pretty quickly, but you don't know all the strategies and really get to that master level unless you play. So I feel like this game really fits that criteria, because as you play more and more, you can figure out really how to strategically place your pieces to make it very difficult for your opponent. If you saw, it seemed like the strategy that I had used with my white bombs was more effective because of the path that the opponent chose to take. It was very difficult for him to fit the requirement of landing on 5 stars before he went to his end zone or his corner to win the game. So it is very simple but difficult to master. I feel like another problem with the case study was it was essentially a little dry and a little boring. I feel like this is a game that you can warm up to, but I feel like it's a nice, fun game. After a while you can get really competitive with friends, especially if you were playing with 4 people. There'd be a lot more blocking going on and a lot more to make the game more difficult. So that's about it. I hope that you have a great summer and have fun grading a bunch of games, and I hope you like this one. Yes. Thank you very much for listening.